Ooh, what's up, internet? My name's Nerdy, and because of this, where is it? There it is. Because of this right here, there are more names on my wife's side of the board than on my side of the board. For our stream anniversary, we had a sub battle, and I lost, and so I have to say mean things, and only mean things about The Last Jedi in a video. This is that video. We get Nerdy Nightly, and we thought we'd share it with you. As you can tell, I am stoked. So excited to do this. And here it is. A chronological list of things I don't like about The Last Jedi. I'm sorry, Rian Johnson. The movie opens on a daring escape as the Resistance base is besieged by the First Order and their dreadnought bomber. Poe Dameron, a hot bisexual who can do anything he wants to me, publicly humiliates General Hux, a hot but closeted bisexual Nazi, via phone call in a way that surely inspired some awkward theater boners for anyone with a humiliation kink, but also started the trap this movie falls into of neutering the First Order by playing its generals for laughs. Poe is actually stalling for time so that he can lead a hopelessly flawed bombing run on the fearsome dreadnought, of which there is only one, apparently, because we never see one again, and needs his booster jet thing to charge. This will also only be seen this one time, as there is little to no foreshadowing of any kind in this movie, and the fan reaction to the movie as a whole will keep references to it out of other Star Wars properties until like 10 years from now, when the community decides they love it so they can hate the next Star Wars trilogy, and the cycle can repeat itself.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Mid-attack, Poe's weapons malfunction, and BB-8 fixes them by shattering the electrical board with his head, which is just like the time I got 120 frames per second on Cyberpunk by punching my graphics card until I had to sell a kidney to buy a 3070 on eBay. The greatest tragedy of this movie quickly occurs where we lose Captain Kennedy. Just one of the best Star Wars characters to be introduced in the sequels, and we get him for like all of a minute. Jumping ahead, the next thing that I don't like about this movie is that this scene ends with
"Where's on?"
Pacing and length are major factors in any film, but the sequel trilogy never really allows its characters to mourn those who pass. It's trying to feel urgent, but instead feels weightless. Who needs to see Luke's reaction to Han's death when we can show you Snoke dressed in the robe your dad threw on when you walked in on him and your mom? After discovering the First Order can track them through light speed, the remnants of the Resistance begin to haul ass in the opposite direction. Hux is told that the smaller vessels of the Resistance are ever so slightly faster, and thus are just out of range of the main cannons. Despite that, the distance between the vessels never increases, as demonstrated by the slow lob of the First Order cannon fire, and so for the majority of the film, visually all of the ships appear to be moving at the same speed. The effect of this is that the A-plot that this story functions as within the movie sits in an emotional limbo without excitement or stakes, and forces the movie to rely on the wildly different subplots to maintain the forward momentum that can't be found in the stagnant main plot. The audience is essentially told, don't worry about this until the climax, and holds a status quo here for just over an hour of the runtime.
Up the barrage. Let's at least remind them that we're still here.
Which leads us to Cant Bite. Arguably the most exciting concept for a new Star Wars location in the entire sequel trilogy, it has become the go-to weak spot in any conversation around the film. What could have been an Ocean's 11-style extraction was executed as a bumbling, incoherent series of decisions from two characters who have otherwise made sound decisions. They start by landing on the beach for seemingly no reason and proceed to forget the insanely tight timeline they're on in order to fit an animal rights message into the movie while also making a commentary on the companies who profit from warmongering. Only to get pulled away because BB-8 actually did the thing they were there for. Side note. Humans in this universe would literally accomplish nothing without droids. They're all useless, and R2-D2 and BB-8 can do anything. They would have succeeded too, but they're arrested for landing on the beach. It's entirely too convenient a setback as it forces our POV characters to make a decision off-screen that doesn't make sense or seem in character in order to throw this wrench in the works. The following action sequence, a 5-minute father breakout, includes no significant action from Finn or Rose and has no bearing on the overall plot of the movie. It's just CGI mush as BB-8, the Fathiers, and the newly introduced DJ do all of the actual action. Finn and Rose are essentially along for the ride, but bring nothing to it. From landing on the beach to leaving with DJ from the cliff, Rose makes one decision, to free the Fathiers, and Poe makes none. This would be fine if the lesson learned was worth it and changed his character, but DJ reiterates the exact same lesson on the ship in the next scene, which makes you wonder why we couldn't spend like 40 seconds on Luke's reaction to Han Solo's death. Later, back on the resistance. Why can't I say resistance? Later, back on the Resistance bridge, Poe and Holdo have it out about her secret plan to move everybody on to transports. And honestly, it's just not a great scene for anyone. Fueling 20 transports would require a lot of people's involvement, so it's weird that it's a secret or that Holdo is still playing her cards this close. Poe is behaving like a child and honestly doesn't deserve an answer to his questions. They both fail at communication and leadership here, and not in a way that creates conflict or intrigue for the audience, but really just has two people be mad at each other and then walk away with the exact same point of view that they had at the beginning of the conversation. The reason for this in the overall story is so that Poe can tell Finn about it, so that DJ can overhear it, so that DJ can betray them when they get onto the Snoke ship. But that is a disappointing reason to have such an out-of-character moment for two characters who are being portrayed as military leaders. The bigger problem here is that Holdo's plan isn't a great one. The big assumption that the First Order won't just have one of their ships shoot ahead in light speed, turn around and trap them, sits over the whole movie and asks the audience to accept that the First Order would spend over 18 hours playing with their food for no apparent reason, and that the Resistance somehow knows that they are going to do this and doesn't need to act in any sort of urgent manner. A story like this could work if it was a moment of dramatic irony and the audience knew the entire time and got to watch Poe act without the same knowledge, or is slowly given information throughout the movie to feel like they're solving a mystery alongside Poe, but neither happens here. Our POV character isn't even conscious when the plan is enacted, and the big reveal happens in an infodump monologue that just feels slightly unsatisfying after the hour plus of tension leading up to it. The plan barely works, and the movie manages to get all of its main characters onto the planet of Crate, partially because they don't show us how the First Order gets off their own ship as it explodes while they're in it, I guess. And on the planet Crate, the big kerfuffle happens. It's the final climax, and in the middle of it, we get arguably the worst moment in the movie. You already know what it is. It is the kiss between Finn and Rose. It is supposed to be the button on their arc, the emotional climax of their journey together, and instead plays out more like the kiss between Emma Stone and Jonah Hill from Superbad, even so far as getting the same awkward, uncomfortable laugh from the audience in the first screening that I saw this movie at. For some reason, throughout this film, Finn and Rose are the characters whose storyline is the most time sensitive. They have to accomplish things very quickly because they are in danger. But they are also the two characters who take the most time when they're in the middle of these life-threatening situations to talk about things or to have an awkward kiss, despite the fact that there are multiple walkers that are about to step on you. There's no time, Rose! There's no time. And that's it. That's all the things I don't like about it. I'm not gonna lie. I know I had to make a video saying that I don't to say mean things about The Last Jedi. This is that video. That's literally everything that I could think of. If I didn't talk about something in the movie in this video, it's because I probably liked it. Sorry. I know that there are people who want to fight with me about the things I like in this movie. Please fight with me in the comments down below. If you guys think I should make a video that is like everything I like about The Last Jedi, it'll be significantly longer than this one. But I would make that if there was interest in it. I love this franchise so much, clearly. I mean, God, my life. The number of Baby Yodas in the room that I am filming this video in is kind of silly. But congratulations, Claris Dracarys. You won. You won. You got more of our friends to give money to Amazon than I did. And I guess that's a win. I think we all actually lose in this scenario. But, we paid our rent this month, so... Streamiversary! If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't like this video, or you don't like me, leave me comments down below, hit the dislike button. The algorithm god is hungry, and we must feed her. As always, you can follow me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/nerdynightly. I am doing a hardcore Nuzlocke of the entire Pokemon franchise, every single game in release order. We are 14 games down, y'all. We have 21 to go, so don't miss out on the rest of the Nerdy Lock. A huge shout out and thank you to our patrons over at patreon.com/nerdynightly for keeping the wheels on the bus going round and round. And as always, my name's Nerdy. May the Force be with you. Always.